Hello to all my beautiful souls. I got a message today for somebody who is trying to, let me set this down, um, trying to bring in more success and abundance into their life, right? So, message came through pretty strong, pretty good, and I actually took a shower because of it and washed my hair beforehand. So, there's that. Yay for me. Let's celebrate me for taking a shower. And um, let's celebrate me for celebrating me, okay? Because that's what the message is about today, is about celebrating yourself and how do you bring success and abundance into your life, okay? And so this message is going to be for somebody who has subconsciously a fear of success, okay? And it might sound crazy, or you'd be like, what? Fear of success? Why would I fear success? You know? And it's funny because maybe you should go. I just saw 111 as I looked. You might want to go back and see my most recent video, I think, about having a subconscious fear that's blocking you. That could be helpful also. But for this message, it is that some of us have been taught that being prideful or having pride or showing pride can be a bad thing, right? It can be, you might see some people that are too prideful and they gloat, and they could be really egotistical and conceited, and you know what I'm talking about, and who knows, maybe you've even been in that energy before. I know I have in my younger years. I just wasn't balanced in my energies, right? So, what came through was that there's nothing good or bad, right? Nothing's good or bad. It's just in what you do with it. And like I talk about a lot in my videos, is that we have a choice in everything. It is to, you can choose love or you can choose fear, okay? So you can be prideful out of a place of love, and you can beam with pride. Or you could be, unbalanced in your pride and be conceited. Or just be a bad team player, like, you you're the I that's in team, that they're, you're the one. Sorry, I'm sweating. I'm outside. But so, anyways, back to the message. What I had written down and what I got for this message was, if you can't appreciate your small victories, then you can't fully appreciate your large victories, right? And I wrote down, whenever I was talking about being, or should I say, fully appreciating the big victories, what came through second was being trusted. And I just saw 333 on the timer as I looked. So maybe you've been seeing that, or that's just a confirmation that you are surrounded by the Ascended Masters, or maybe you're an Ascended Master yourself, reincarnated. So either way, the word trusted came through, and I was like, trusted, and I was like, oh, I use this with everybody because I love the truth. Honesty and truth came through. So I love the truth. I'm a truth seeker. I'm a truth speaker, and I appreciate that in return, So what I tell people and how I judge who I should trust based on their actions is like, if I can't trust someone to be honest with me about the small things, how could I possibly trust them to be honest with me about the big things, and that same, principle was applied to this message about victories and about success, okay? Because what's happening here is a need for some shadow work, okay? And the shadow aspect of this fear of pride, that ultimately is blocking your manifestation, it's blocking your success, came from you never learning how to love yourself and truly appreciate yourself. Okay, some of us we grew up in a home environment or just a community where you would get more attention by your mistakes than ever by your victories. And then when I thought about that, I saw a little child, and I'm seeing your inner child being confused. Like, okay, so I get criticized and blamed and shamed and guilted and all these terrible things whenever I make a mistake. And then whenever I do something good, I don't get as much attention or, whatever. And so it's like this little kid's just confused, kind of just like, okay, so this is how it works. So then as you get older, you start to grow, your ego. And that's where some of these things get stuck, right? These thought patterns and just concepts that aren't suiting you, things that you've learned. Sorry, I'm wiping my sweat off, as per my usual, because I be out here sweating. I'm going to need another shower when I go back in, but that's okay, because I got my hair clean. So we can do a little rinse. But anyway, so what came through was that you got more practiced at criticizing yourself, okay, and less practiced, I guess you could say, at honoring yourself and celebrating your accomplishments. As a matter of fact, I was feeling uncomfortable with the idea of it, right? And I've been there before, and that's why I could relate to this message, because I've been in this place where I didn't love myself. I didn't appreciate myself because I wasn't taught how to do that. Mostly because the people that I grew up with didn't know how to do that for themselves. So how could they possibly show me something or teach me something that they don't even understand themselves? So nobody's to blame here. These are all things and lessons that we signed up for when we came to this earth realm and when we came to this experience, this dimension. And it's all for our growth, okay? So if you've been through this or you're going through this, shadow work where you are going inside and really reflecting on your childhood or, a time in your life where you were criticized more than you were, honored or appreciated. I've been through that. I got my tush handed to me all the time growing up. And then as I got older, I learned how to do that to myself really well. I was very much practiced in kicking my own ass, mentally, emotionally. And I was a pro at it, but I was not a pro at celebrating myself or feeling comfortable being proud, because I felt like if you showed too much pride in yourself, then you come off as conceited and not authentic, but pride can be authentic. And so what you're being asked to do is to beam from the inside, from a place of love, right? So we have love or fear. We can love ourselves and be proud of our accomplishments, the lessons learned, the evolution, our ascension. We can be proud of these things, right? Because why not? Why do the things if you're not going to be proud of yourself and honor yourself for it? And I mean, if you have a friend or a family member or a child and they do something really cool and you're like, celebrate them, but you can't do the same thing for yourself, how are you going to draw more of that in? It's just not, it's not existent, and so you're just going to continue to bring in less and less success for yourself. Okay? So inner child work and shadow work are so important right now for all of us. And it can be very uncomfortable. I mean, it is very uncomfortable. But as you go and you go and you learn to accept yourself and accept your shadow and really honor that part of you, okay? Because it's a part of you. It's a part of, everything. You have positive, negative, light, dark, you have all these different, or all these, ooh, my hair's, you got energies that are positive, you got energies that are negative, right? But it still makes up the all and the whole of you. So when you learn to work with these things and work through them, then you can use them in your favor, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with having an ego. We all have an ego. It's part of being a human, and it's part of this experience. It's what, it's just the shadow aspects of us that we have an opportunity to work through so that we can learn, so that we can pass these courses that we signed up for here on this earth. You signed a contract to come here. You have, courses that you signed up for to get your, certificate whenever you leave or whatever, however you want to think about it, to learn the lessons. So then when you come here, you're faced with opportunities to learn. But if you're completely oblivious to the fact that you even signed up for this, that you even signed up for this course, you show up, someone's telling you, hey, go to this class. And you're like, I didn't sign up. What class? I didn't sign up for a class. And they're like, yeah, they're calling your name and whatever, A106, like, even if you don't remember signing up for it, you did. So you can, the universe is going to continuously show you over and over again and remind you, send you reminders that, hey, you got this class coming up, this course is coming up, don't be tardy, show up. And then you miss it, and then you gotta sign up, you gotta do it all over again. You keep getting smacked in the face and fall on the floor and all this kind of stuff, and keep having to start over. So once you start doing the shadow work and you start building up some momentum towards healing yourself, it gets easier and less intimidating, and it's really fun. And that's honestly where I learned to be proud of myself. And I have other people in my life that are proud of me too. I just talked to my husband yesterday about being proud and celebrating ourselves. I used to not be comfortable at all calling up somebody and saying, hey, I totally was met with a situation that or I made a mistake, or I did this, but this is how I handled it, and I'm just so proud of myself. Because even though it was, could have been perceived as a shit situation, I understand that it's an opportunity for me to either learn something new or show myself how much I've grown and what I'm actually capable of doing, right? So then you get more comfortable with it, and then you start to feel proud of yourself, but from a place of love, okay? And it's not, like I said, I personally called one of my girlfriends because, it's just nice to talk to somebody sometimes, I'm very introverted, and I stay to myself, and I don't talk to people very often. So, yeah, but, I called her and I was like, girl, I'm so proud of myself and whatever. But even without doing that, I didn't have to do that. I felt proud of myself all on my own, and I did not need to seek validation from her. I chose to share with her personally because we learn through each other, and we learn through each other's mistakes, and we hear each other out, and we listen to stories and experiences without judgment, just to see what we can reflect back and forth to each other, right? And so it's a beautiful exchange and, opportunity for me to to celebrate myself. And that's how I chose to celebrate myself in that moment, was just to call my best friend and be like, girl, I messed up. I made a mistake. You know, I fluffed it all up. But I handled it with such grace, and I came at it from a place of unconditional love for myself and whatever the situation is, you know? And so doing the shadow work and getting comfortable with myself and knowing where I came from, because that's how you get to appreciate where you're at, right? And how far you've come, is by comparing where you were, right? So you're being asked to appreciate yourself, honor yourself, celebrate yourself, you know? You'll know the difference when you see someone that's beaming with pride, okay? And right now I'm just seeing like stands, like a sports game or something, you know, like there's parents, and, you know, we've got these parents over here that are, you know, super aggressive and, you know, and they're so proud of their, you know, their son, you know, but it's like, it's coming, you know, the way that the energy, I guess, that's coming off of them can be like from a fear place, right, of not being appreciated for the son that they created, right, that's so amazing at whatever sport that they're participating in. And they just have to seek validation from everybody else and shout from the rooftops like, hey, everybody, look how great my son is, you know, and, you know, best creation of all time, this, you know, this one kid or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's just like this energy that's like really unbalanced and egotistical and rude and whatever. Or there's a place where you see someone beaming from the inside. They don't have to say a word, you know, but you can tell that they are just so in love with themselves and appreciate themselves and most likely celebrate themselves, you know. So that's where we all want to be. We all want to be comfortable celebrating ourselves. We all want to be comfortable feeling proud, but being balanced, you know, in our energies. Everything is a balancing act, you know, and everything is a choice. You have a choice of love or fear, you know. Are you going to love yourself unconditionally, or are you going to fear that people don't like you, or that, you know, you fear failure, which ultimately is a fear of learning, you know, because we fail and then we learn from it and then we try again, you know. So a fear of success and a fear of failure is pretty much the same thing, you know. But what we need to do is remove all fear and come into alignment with love, unconditional love for yourself, for everybody else, for your accomplishments, for all that is, for the universe, for these courses that you signed up for, you know. So another thing that I wrote down was Merlin. I don't know why I wrote that down on this paper. I know why I was thinking about Merlin, but I wrote it down for some reason, and so I don't know if that's for somebody. You like Merlin. But then whenever I was thinking about it for this message, it was, you know, create magic. And you're going to create magic within yourself, you know, with that pride and with the balance of energies. You can be prideful and you can create magic with it. You can use that pride to muster up courage. You know, you can use that pride to gain confidence in yourself. And those are the things that you get to share. And simply by doing the work and raising your awareness, raising your consciousness, you're going to raise your frequency to a more loving vibration, a higher vibration. And with practice and consistency, you keep on ascending. Okay? And then I like to think about, you know, each one teach one, right? But some of us don't even have to teach. Some of us can simply walk into a room and our aura and our energy field is so big, and any person that comes in to that space is going to be affected by our frequency, you know? I choose to make videos because I was taught, and I knew eventually that I would end up being, you know, ascend, go up the ladder, and then, take my time. And my time is approaching, and I'm getting more comfortable and confident with sharing all of the wisdom and knowledge that I've acquired in the last 20 years going down this spiritual path. Okay? So, create your own magic, appreciate your accomplishments. Don't be afraid of your ego. Okay, work with it. Use it to your benefit. I'm sweating so bad, y'all. I'm shining. I'm glistening. And just be honest with yourself. Like, you don't even have to write this stuff down. If you don't want people to know what, I'm shaking. If you don't want people to know yet, and you're not comfortable enough sharing your own shadow work experience, and you might be afraid someone might come across it or whatever, write it down and burn it. Or do it in here, but really be honest with yourself. Ask yourself the tough questions and give yourself honest answers, because that's the only way you're ever going to grow and bust out of the box and the limitations that you have unconsciously or consciously put around yourself. Okay? So, I think that was pretty much it. Inner work. Yes, okay, so one last thing just to wrap it up. I got do shadow work, balance energy, use both for the highest good for all involved. I mean, that's it. You do the work, you balance yourself out, you come back to center, back to oneness, and then you use all of your whole entire being for the ultimate good of everybody, including yourself. Okay? So, I love you, and you're so beautiful and amazing and needed. And it's 2222 on the timer. Okay? I really pray that you answer this call and that you do the shadow work and you continue to invest into yourself every single day, because you won't regret it. If there's any person that you should pour into, if there's any relationship that you should pour into, it should be the relationship with yourself. Number one. Because you will never know, you will never feel pride and love and just all those wonderful feelings from somebody else as much as you could give it to yourself. And you can't expect everybody else to give that to you. You have to give that to yourself. So be proud of who you are. Be proud of where you came from. Be proud of where you're at, okay? Because you're needed. And like I said, you're loved. I love you. I love every single person. Every single person. I might not like everybody, but I love every single one of us, because we are all a piece of the same thing, okay? So enjoy your day, enjoy your week, your year, the rest of your life, and thank you.